I knew this day was going to come. I've got to buy an M2 iPad Pro again. Oh, and I need your help, please, please. So this month I have no choice but to head to the Apple Store again and buy myself a 12.9-inch M2 iPad Pro. Now, if you missed my first video about the M2 iPad Pro, you'll know that I bought one with the full intention, honestly, to review it, only to not open it at all and send it back. I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video, but you don't really need to watch it, guys, if you haven't seen it already. The gist of it was I couldn't think of a way to review that iPad in a way that was interesting. So it went back and I stuck with my trusty 2018 whatever version of the iPad Pro this is. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, this is sitting on a MagFlow Pro stand, which is by a company called Jargon Pro. They're not sponsoring this video, by the way. I've just been playing around with it. This is a prototype, but it will be available quite soon, I believe. I'll put a link in the description. It's magnetic, so you can attach your iPad Pro like so, but it's got this adjustable height. How cool is that? They've even made a Visa mount as well, which if you're that way inclined, you can stick your iPad Pro to and attach to the wall. I've gone way off piste. In this video, I'm going to explain why I'm having to backtrack on my decision to send the M2 iPad Pro back. This will all make sense in a moment, I promise. Before we get started, just a very quick word from today's sponsor, which is Casekoo, because if you like iPads, you probably like iPhones, and I think you're going to love this case. It adds 2mm to your iPhone, which is great for starters, but it's also got this amazing little kickstand, which if I flip out, you can basically position this anywhere between 40 to 120 degrees, and that's great for watching stuff while you're eating your lunch or working out on the floor like I pretend I do in this bit of B-roll. It's one of those things that you don't realise you need until you've got it. It's super tough as well. This is rated to 30,000 plus openings, so you've got no worries there. There's also loads of colours to choose from, including this rather lovely see-through / silver version, which they've just released. There's also a 48-piece magnet structure built into the case, which means yes, your MagSafe accessories will still work with the Casekoo case. And the best news is I've worked with Casekoo to get you a 10% discount. Just click that link in the description. I'm one of those people who bought the first iPad and had to fend off all of those comments from his mates of, why have you just bought a massive iPhone? I've been there, I've done that happened to me, I've stuck with it through thick and thin, but I still struggle to work the iPad into my daily work. The only exception to that is the iPad mini, which is a fantastic note taker. But apart from that, the iPad Air, the iPad Pro in particular, they just don't, I can never make them stick. I can never find a task for them that works. And the 2018 iPad Pro is a great example of this. I've used this for general kind of office duties, you know, emailing, all that sort of stuff. I've used it for writing, but I always end up going back to the Mac. And the M2 iPad Pro is the epitome of this issue. It's incredibly powerful, don't get me wrong. I understand how amazing that iPad is, particularly with that M2 chip in it. But at the moment, unless you use DaVinci Resolve, which is pretty much one of the only creative apps, pro apps that is made available on the iPad, you just can't get that power out of it. I know us video creators aren't the only people who are waiting for pro apps on the iPad, and I know there are some pro apps in other fields, but I can't talk about them because I don't use them. But for me, until Final Cut Pro and potentially Logic Pro arrive on the iPad, I just can't justify having an M2 iPad Pro. But things change, and this is going to get a little bit meta and a bit kind of inside baseball for YouTube. There's quite a big reason I need to get one, which I'll explain now. You've waited long enough. Oh, the joys of being a YouTuber. I wouldn't swap it for the world, but sometimes it forces you to make decisions which put you in a position that you'd rather not be in, and this is one of those cases. And in this instance, it's all to do with my desire to continue working with a particular brand, a particular sponsor. I won't mention them in this video, but you've seen them on this channel before, trust me. They've booked a 2-sponsor package with me recently. One of those sponsors was for the iPhone, so that was quite straightforward. You've probably seen it already. The second one was for the iPad, and normally no problem whatsoever. The only issue is that the product they want to feature is only compatible with the latest iPad Pro. That gives me two choices. The first one is to say, sorry, I can't do that sponsorship because I don't have that iPad. That isn't a great answer. The second one is to say, okay, I'll do that sponsorship and then have to go and buy an iPad. Yes, I've gone for the latter. Now that does make the profitability of that particular sponsorship very questionable because M2 iPad Pros, particularly the 12.9-inch version, which is the one that I need, aren't cheap. But as a business owner who greatly values the partnerships he has with brands, I had no choice. I've had to say yes, basically, which, yeah, means I've got to spend some more money. And this is where I need your help, please, guys, because I don't know how to put this massive iPad Pro to use in my business, let alone the M2 version. Unlike the iPad mini, like I mentioned earlier, because this is just wonderful. It's a brilliant content consumption device, and it's a fantastic note taker. And on that note, the reason it's a fantastic note taker is because of the paper-like screen protector, which I have on here and which makes your iPad feel like paper, as you'd imagine. The other reason I've mentioned paper-like is because they've just released a new version or a new colour of their brilliant little grips for the Apple Pencil. These are made for both the Apple Pencil first and second generation. They improve stroke precision, they reduce grip fatigue, they maximize comfort, they still work with the double tap gesture and the magnetic charging on the second generation Apple Pencil, and you can now get them in charcoal, so I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out. But going back to this great big iPad Pro, which is going to be replaced with that M2 version in the next couple of weeks, when that new M2 iPad Pro arrives in this studio, what do you want me to do with it? What do you want me to test, review, try out? Please help. Honestly, I had to make this video because I want to know how to maximize that investment in the M2 iPad Pro. This has been an unusual video, but one which I desperately need some help with. So I'm going to shut up now, and I will leave a link to my original M2 iPad Pro review that wasn't a review at the end of this one. So keep watching for a link to that. And yeah, get involved in the comments, please.